I'm Diana Rosa, and I'm speaking with Chelsea Canedy. She lives in Maine and is owner of Unexpected Farm and will be a clinician at Equine Affaire. Welcome, Chelsea. It's so nice to meet you. I love your natural approach. But our audience wants to know how you got involved with horses. So how did, wherever you began, get to where you are today?
Sure. So I started in horses at Girl Scout camp, actually. I didn't start riding until I was about 11 years old, 10 or 11 years old, when I went to camp. And I got back from camp and I was bitten by the bug. And my mom basically offered me either to go to dance classes or continue trying to learn to ride at a local farm. And I chose the riding. From there, I just spent my days as a barn rat as much as I could at the farm, helping and riding anything anybody would give me. I didn't ever own a horse, that wasn't within our means. So I just rode catch rides, I rode lease horses, I rode lesson horses, and I worked my way up through the levels of pony club, which was an invaluable education for me for sure. And then I went off to college and at the same time just kept dabbling in helping people with their horses on the side. And when I was finished with college, the only thing I really wanted to do was full time be with horses. So I took that path. It led me into Northern Virginia, and I ran a couple of lovely farms there before I burnt out pretty hard and had to take a sharp right into figuring out what being in a world with horses really meant to me, and how I was going to do that in a much healthier and more sustainable way for both myself and for horses. And that led me down a path of self discovery, into meditation, into mindfulness, and eventually circled back around into the horse world, where I'm really focused on bringing that level of clarity and carefulness into my training, helping horses, helping people, with a much more natural approach, I would say, and much more well-rounded approach, I would say.
I have to say, natural is all, is really all about what I believe in. And so I love your philosophy. I know that Equine Affaire, you're going to be focusing on science and application of positive reinforcement in horses. Can you share with that audience what that means to you?
So the use of positive reinforcement in training animals has been around for hundreds of years, and really has taken shape in the last century. And we've used it in a lot of places except with horses, which is interesting and strange to me. And once you understand the science behind it, you can really understand how adding it to your training toolbox only enhances your ability to help horses understand what you're trying to teach them. And so I see it as not a replacement, but an addition to what we already do with horses and have done for a long, long time.
In reviewing things about you, there were a number of phrases that really caught my attention. Reward the try and celebrate even 1% better, as little as possible, as much as necessary. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So for me, training is not an immediate reward process for a human. It needs to be really being able to stay present, watch what's happening in a very careful and present way, because that's how horses live. They live right now in the present. And humans have to work really hard to do that too, because we tend to live in the future or live in the past and really have a hard time staying in the moment with our horses. And so being able to observe so carefully that we notice when they're putting in a little bit of effort, when they're really trying to understand what we want, instead of getting frustrated or wanting it to be done faster or get to our end result immediately. We have to take our time. And honestly, by taking our time, we end up getting where we want to be much quicker.
It's so true, right? You really need to take our time with ourselves and our horses. Well, I want to thank you for chatting with me today. Do you have any last words you'd like to say?
Yeah, I think, at Equine Affaire, I'm fortunate enough to be teaching on the positive reinforcement and also helping riders in person with understanding how to do what we're talking about, become more present, become more patient, and really refine our basics. Because honestly, even the best riders in the world, they're just doing the basics really, really well and with clarity and presence and consistency.
Well, after speaking with you, I do agree with the phrase that I read, and that said she understands how horses think and learn. And you really do. So thank you so much for chatting with me. And I am Diana DeRosa, reporting for the EQUUS Television Network.